Enugu State has bagged the 2025 NAFEST hosting rights. Yes, you heard right. Enugu State has officially clinched the rights to host the 2025 edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, popularly known as NAFEST, a cultural fiesta that unites Nigeria through heritage, creativity, and celebration. And this time, the theme is Connected Culture, a fitting phrase for a state that's not only deeply rooted in tradition, but also rapidly rising on the national stage for innovation, tourism, and development. At a vibrant handover ceremony at the Enugu State Government House, the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Obi Asika, officially passed on the baton to Governor Peter Mbah. In his words, Enugu has been in the news non-stop for all the right reasons. Great things are happening here, and we want NAFEST to be part of that movement. The 2025 NAFEST will hold from November 22nd to 29th, and for context, this is only the second time Enugu will be hosting the prestigious cultural event, the first being way back in 2008, 17 years ago. But what makes Enugu stand out? Obi Asika didn't mince words. He described Enugu as one of Nigeria's finest cities, with a governor who is making strategic moves in tourism, technology, education, and youth empowerment. From the restoration of natural wonders like the Ohum waterfall to exciting projects like the Enugu Pyramid Canopy Walkway, Enugu is blending its ancient roots with a future-forward mindset. And then there is the economic angle. NAFEST 2025 is expected to attract over 5,000 participants from across Nigeria and beyond, bringing more than 30 states to the city to share culture, compete, and connect. There's a huge boost for local businesses, tourism operators, artisans, and the youth. Asika emphasized that NAFEST isn't just about dance and drama, it's also about capacity building, empowering creative talents, content creators, poets, digital entrepreneurs, and cultural custodians. And with Enugu's vibrant education sector and youthful population, the city is more than ready to absorb the impact. Governor Peter Mbah, visibly elated, said the hosting rights align perfectly with his administration's bold vision to attract 3 million annual visitors to Enugu and transform it into one of the top 3 economies in Nigeria. This is where opportunity meets preparation, Mbah declared. Enugu is aesthetically designed for events like this, from our landscape and weather to our growing infrastructure and hospitality. And let's not forget safety. The governor reassured all guests and participants that Enugu remains one of the safest cities in the country, thanks to massive investments in security infrastructure and proactive policing. So mark your calendars, November 22nd to 29th, 2025, as NAFEST comes home to Enugu, a city of stories, a city of culture, a city of possibilities. Connected culture begins here. Hosting NAFEST is huge. It's a national event. We're expecting delegates from over 30 states. I mean, you have no idea the scale of this hosting right given to Enugu State. It is stunning. Trust me, it is stunning, and prepare for it. Just like we would have in August the NBA come for their conference, and we're expecting to have over 300,000 people visiting the state for that conference. That is how this is going to be. In fact, this is actually higher in terms of scaling, in terms of people, than that event. I'm talking about the AGM by the NBA in August. So the NAFEST, let me give you an idea. The NAFEST was held in Abuja last year. Because of the infrastructure, NAFEST is not hosted by any kind of state. They don't take NAFEST to a state that they feel cannot host, or if there's any doubt that the states cannot host NAFEST, they don't take it there. So because the state would be strained by the amount of persons who would come. If your state doesn't have good hotels, good road networks, if your state does not have, infrastructure, something that can be used. I mean, I'm talking about infrastructure, spaces, places people can be at, people can go to. Nobody ever goes there. So hosting NAFEST is huge. You have no idea what this is, really. hosting NAFEST, that's the National Festival of Arts and Culture in the state, goes beyond just cultural celebration. It's a strategic opportunity with social, economic, and developmental significance. NAFEST provides a national platform for the host state to showcase its unique cultural heritage, including music, dance, fashion, food, craft, language, and tradition. It also promotes cultural pride and identity, especially among the youth, while helping preserve indigenous practices that are at the risk of fading away. Now, let's talk about other things that NAFEST can do for Enugu State. Hosting NAFEST brings in thousands of participants from across Nigeria, including delegates across 30 states, performers, tourists, media, vendors. This surge in visitors leads to increased spending in hotels, transport, food, souvenirs, and local services, stimulating the local economy. NAFEST also creates temporary jobs and open doors for artisans, vendors, and service providers. So for those who are into small shops, food vendors, this is an opportunity. I mean, this is about time where you should start doing your collaborations with the arts and culture department. If you can, go to the Ministry of Tourism. Ugochi Madweke is an open woman who would give you the opportunity to pen you down so that you can be one of the vendors in that event. I mean, things are going to be really structured in such a way that it's not going to be like a market square. It's going to be well structured. So if you can, if you're in that space, it's about time for you to start making that engagement. For those who are also looking to do engagements regarding the AGM, start now. Don't wait until that very moment. There's also an opportunity for the youth engagement and skill development. NAFEST provides capacity building workshops, creative contests, and digital innovation showcases that target young people. It exposes local youths to opportunities in the creative economy, including content creation, digital arts, fashion performance, and poetry. It can spark interest in entrepreneurship among young creatives. A good one, tourism and destination marketing. Now, a successfully hosted NAFEST puts the host state on the map as a tourist destination. Attractions such as natural landmarks, historical sites, and local festivals receive more visibility and often renewed investments. The event often attracts international guests, boosting global awareness of the state's offerings. Huge. So this one of the reasons why Peter Mbah had invested a whole lot of money. Now, he announced that investment in tourism some few weeks back is because he knows what is coming. People wouldn't come all the way. We've been hearing Enugu. Look at what Obiasika said in my narration earlier, that Enugu has been in the news lately consistently. That is what's going on in Enugu. Every day he hears about something in Enugu State. So what does that tell you? There is something about Enugu that is huge right under this administration. And so you can imagine the amount of monies he has spent on tourism. We're talking about developing a zip line or a waterfall. It's trying to do a lot of things, to make it a livable city. This week, like I mentioned in my last video, the buses will be launched. He'll be doing the second year anniversary. The airplane, Enugu Air, will be launched. There's a lot that will be launched, this week as we head on to the 22nd year anniversary of this administration. So if you have this situation, you would, as a person who is looking at the news and seeing what's going on in Enugu, you want to really look at what's going on and then bring your events. A lot of events has also been held here in Enugu State, and everyone who has come for the events have said Enugu is a beautiful city and is a place that you want to live in. Look at what has happened with the International Conference Center. I can't even count the amount of events that the International Conference Center has actually received. The amount of persons who have used that International Conference Center since it got opened in March or so, it's unprecedented. There are even still more events to be held in that international conference center. So it's now a beautiful city that everyone wants to actually be identified with. So infrastructural development is also a key component of NAFEST. Hosting national events typically motivates the states to invest in or upgrade events venues, roads, lighting, water supply, security, and sanitation. These improvements leave a lasting legacy that benefits residents even after the festival ends. National unity and cultural integration. NAFES is rooted in the idea of healing and unity, especially post Civil War. It brings together diverse ethnic groups, fostering peaceful coexistence, mutual respect, and interstate collaboration. For the host state, it's a chance to lead in building bridges across cultures. Political and social capital. Hosting NAFES elevates the profile of the state government and its leadership, demonstrating their commitment to arts, culture, peace, and development. It opens the door for future collaborations with federal cultural agencies, development partners, and international bodies. So, in summary, guys, hosting NAFES is not just an event, it's strategic catalyst for culture, commerce, community, and credibility. It's an investment that can transform perceptions, empower people, and position the host state as a hub for creativity, tourism, and national pride. So, who would want to host NAFEST? I mean, every state wants to host NAFEST. If you are a governor of any state that cares about the development of your state, if you are a governor and you care so much about the development of your own state, the empowerment of your own people, these are the kinds of events you should be going out for in order to get the people to vote, not vote, to get people to, to work, get people employed, get people engaged, and stimulate the local economy. I mean, imagine people who are going to come all the way in August, the AGM I spoke to you about, and now imagine this people again coming in November. So totally different people coming in November. And we also know that the National Sports Festival is going to be held here in Enugu too next year, by this time next year. I think one is already going on in Enugu State. Imagine another event. There's this event that's also coming up. The Institute of Strategic Learning also. They're also coming up. There's that tremendous amount of events that are coming into Enugu this period. And Enugu is now a better state than it used to be. Trust me. And I truly, truly appreciate the work of the current administration. It can never, ever be better than this. Cheers.